Good morning, LBHT crew. Good morning, Road Nation. Good morning, good friends. What is going on, everybody? Happy Memorial Day. Hope you got today off. I hope you enjoy your day off. But if you have to go into work, only give them 10%. All right. Especially if you have to go in this early, because nobody should be bothering you. All right. It should be a nice, quiet day, a chill day. Y'all go ahead and relax and enjoy. And because I ain't got to work today, we'll make it a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. Because I want to enjoy this day. My son's spending the night at his friend's house. I want to take a little, go back to sleep, take a little nap, enjoy that. All right, But who do we have here?
I put some on the grill, man. Put some on the grill.
Yeah, well, I'll let the whatever I order, they can do that.
Okay.
They can do that. Who do we have here? Dr. Kush, good morning. Good morning to you. TC, good morning. Good morning, Jose and Hendo. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Salute.
Good morning.
It is what it is. Showing love on both channels. Salute.
Biggie. Let's go.
TC with the super chat. Appreciate that. Says thanks for all the work you put in, giving us an A1 morning show. Jason Lockenfora stays talking ish about Lamar. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you for that super chat. I didn't know. Doesn't he usually? I've never. I mean, I don't listen to his stuff regularly, but usually when I hear about him is when he's crushing the organization, not Lamar. But I mean, who knows? I can't keep up with these people. Like I said, in the off season, it's very hard to find things to talk about. What we're going to talk about today are things that they don't want to talk about. So let's just pick up on Lamar again.
And now that he's off on his own, he has no loyalties, and he talk about whatever he wants. He's trying to gain a following because he has to start over from scratch. So of course, you talk about Lamar.
I don't even know what he said. I'm assuming it has something to do with OTAs, which, I mean, there's like 2 more weekends of OTAs, and I know Jesse Minter said he's going to be there. So I don't see what there is to talk about. I don't understand, like, what's the issue? He didn't go to the first 2 days of OTAs. So what? Yo, like Jesse Minter said it, like Lamar, Kyle Hamilton, Bateman, like a few of the veterans didn't go to the first couple of days. Yeah. And he said, it's cool. They already gave me a heads up. I already knew it's not a problem. They're going to show up later. Where's there to talk about? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. Rainmaker, salute. Showing love on both channels. Yes, happy Memorial Day. Appreciate that. We got Static View in the house. What's going on? Showing love on both channels. Appreciate that. Have we done a Black History Fact about Memorial Day? No, but in our Discord, I put a link to One Mic History podcast. Right, that's a friend of ours. He does Black History Facts. He actually did one on Memorial Day because it actually started with Black soldiers. Burying, going back and burying their troops and giving them memorial services, and the national media started to pick up on that, but of course they had to whitewash that. But yes, I think I know where you're going with that. But yeah, check out One Mic History podcast. I even put a link in our description about that because he did one specifically on that, and a great follow as well. So go check him out. All right. Just Aloe, salute. Good morning. We got Ellis in the house. What's going on, Ellis? Happy Memorial Day to all the veterans and active members of the military. And the salute and thank you for your service. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Big boy, good morning. Showing love on both channels. Appreciate you.
Shout out.
Showing love on both channels. Salute. OJ, good morning.
It's good. It's a great Nigerian.
Yes, Grand Rising Nigerian Nightmare, showing love on both channels. Appreciate that. Alfonso Richardson, good morning. Let's see. Ellis says, I feel like Lamar hasn't signed an extension because it just makes more sense to negotiate after an MVP season or a Super Bowl, then it would be coming off one of your worst seasons due to injury. I don't think at his level it matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he's going to set a record. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, like he's already established. I think if you weren't established, then you play it out. But you know, he's already got 2 MVPs, should be 3 MVPs. They know what it is. They're not gonna play around with him because he came off of an injury, right?
Yeah.
Like they know they need him.
Yeah. And in 2023, he coming off an injury in 2022 with only 1 MVP. So they already know.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think he'll sign an extension. I just think he's just kind of making them sweat a little bit because they played them games last time, right? Keto Laura, Baltimore. Good morning. The Chef. Good morning.
What's up?
Money Mike. Good morning.
Good morning.
Samuel Banks. Good morning.
What's up?
What's going on? Just Alice says no work for me either. That's what I'm talking about.
It must be nice.
Yes. Stretch. Good morning and happy holiday. Yes. Grand Rising to Carmelo Moody. Appreciate that.
Whoa.
Samuel Banks. Showing love on both channels.
That means Just Allo could have stayed up on Sunday.
No, he couldn't.
He said my bedtime is my bedtime.
Usually it's 9. It went up to 10:30. Get a little crazy up in here. You know what I mean?
I
see. Salute. Good morning. Raven 76 B more. Salute. Corey Hunt. Good morning. Balti. Good morning. Good morning. What else we got here? Money Mike. Salute. Deanna. What's going on?
Good morning.
Good morning. We got Reggie White.
That's actually not supposed to how you say his name. He told us how to say his name.
Who?
Ball.
He said just call him Balti.
Oh,
because we were getting it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reggie Wright, good morning. Salute. See, I added. Good morning.
What's up, brother?
Corey showing love on both channels. Appreciate that.
Salute.
Raven 76 B more showing love on both channels.
Appreciate it.
Jason Lockefour believes Lamar wants to leave Jose. Well, that's not saying anything bad. A lot of people think that.
Right.
I
Is
mean,
that what the issue's
that's bad for the
about?
Ravens, but that's not talking trash about Lamar. If he feels like, if Lamar feels like he wants to leave, that's warranted. Let's just be real about it. I don't want him to go. I want him to finish his career as a Raven. I want him to win multiple Super Bowls here.
Right.
But let's not act like they didn't do him dirty. They did. Let's not act like they wasted some of his prime years. They did. Right. We're hoping now they've made the changes and this new coach will come in and fix all those things. But let's not act like Lamar shouldn't feel salty about things or doesn't have the right to hold a grudge over this organization. He absolutely does. I don't believe he's thinking about leaving, but if he comes out and says, "Yeah, nah, I'm not really feeling this organization right now. Let's see if things turn around with Jesse Minter here." I understand that too.
Yeah, and look, we're 9 years in, and we're still questioning protection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a franchise quarterback, I would be like, when are you going to prioritize me? When are you going to get the blockers that are kind of equivalent to the defenders that you're signing? You're not signing a $100 million lineman, but you're out here signing $100 million defenders. One failed, one came through. So when are you going to be serious about me? When are you going to get me that number one receiver? Zay Flowers is great, but when are you going to get somebody opposite him? Because you look at Joe Burrow, he got 2 number ones. And Lamar may be looking at things like, hey, these other quarterbacks are getting things that I'm not necessarily getting. So if you're not going to do this in year 9, I don't think you're ever going to do it. And he may be looking to somewhere else, thinking that they're greener pastures. Who knows?
Yeah, right. Man, prime contract maneuverable years too, right? Rookie deal. You could have done a lot. You could have shelved out a lot of money for a lot of different players to bolster the team. Didn't work that way. And you know what? Prime example of greener pastures. Everybody was looking at Matthew Stafford in Detroit. People like, yeah, he got the numbers. That's cool. He threw for 5,000 yards a couple times. But he a loser. He's a loser like all the Detroit Lions legends. They're all losers. Couple years in L.A., people out here talking like he a top 5 quarterback in history. Just like that. Completely forgot about Detroit. No one talks about that because Sean McVay saved that broke dude's life. You know what I mean? So it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Michael Hawthorne, good morning. So good morning, gentlemen, at the airport in Key West, Florida, on the way back to ATL. Go Ravens. We're almost there.
That airport, travels. Man.
Ferris had an experience too.
That airport, man.
Everybody does. Everybody does. I just don't ever want to travel there.
I got lost. I got lost. Thank God my plane got delayed. I got lost and then got delayed. And I asked dude a question at Delta. He looked at me like I insulted his family.
Like even before, like it was this crowded. Like back in the day, like I was in the military and I traveled through Atlanta. Yeah, like like the connecting flights, you could easily miss those. Like mine is something similar to Ferris because like it'll be like on the other side of the airport. And you're like, man, I don't know how to get there, and then
right.
And then by the time you get there, you're like, oh man, it's late. But then like, we're you ain't missing.
Yeah,
we're late. Army Magic, salute. Good morning. Let's see, Deanna, thank you for being a member. Appreciate that. Salute to you. She says players from other teams don't show up to OTAs and nobody bats an eye. If they even think Lamar didn't, they lose their minds. Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, like
and Andrew, saying the same thing. No playoff win. Herbert also hasn't been at OTAs. He needs to be there more than anyone. Where's the media outrage? I mean, that's true. And they got a new coordinator as well.
Yeah, man. He's in Europe hanging out with his girlfriend. Like, what I mean? Because his girlfriend's a big pop star. She's more popular than him. So that's how people know. So like, yeah, he not even in the country. You know what I mean? At least Lamar's in Florida.
My thing is this. Your off time's your off time. Spend it how you choose. Right.
Absolutely.
I don't have a problem with Herbert. I
don't either.
Time. I don't. But if we're holding standards, right? Like there might be some places I say, okay, I hear you. It's your time off. Maybe put in a little work. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get to practice or whatever. But that's your business. Right. Go out there and perform, and you're fine. But if they and this is voluntary, that's what gets me. Like, what do you think they're learning? They're learning voluntary workouts that they're not gonna pick up in training camp.
Right. I generally don't understand why Andrew Thomas is even at New York Giants OTAs. I generally don't understand because, I generally don't understand. That makes no sense to me.
It's a little different for us. Y'all players need to get in shape to get ready for this John Harbaugh. Fitness test. Like y'all on a little different trajectory. Test. Y'all need to be there. Y'all already got one guy injured trying to get in shape. You don't need any more.
Thank you, Darcy, showing love on both counts. Appreciate that.
Fourth defensive tackle.
Bro, it don't matter. You lost a player in OTAs.
Yeah. Prodigy and Havoc, salute. Says everybody have a safe and blessed holiday. God bless the past and present armed forces, women and men. Appreciate that. Salute. Salute. What else we got in here? Marlon Day, salute. Good morning to you. Harry Holland, good morning. Cousin Davon, what's going on? Appreciate you. We got Marine Gamer TV says defense has the right to hold a grudge. Oh, definitely has the right to hold a grudge. Definitely. You're 9 and he don't have a trap a trap center. Is that what you meant? Yeah. We had the center thing. Like I said, some people try to blow that off and say, oh, it's not a big deal. Yeah, tell that to him. Tell that to the person who needs the ball snap to him.
Right. Forget how we feel. How does Lamar feel? That's the most important thing. How does he feel about the situation? And him showing up. How many of these media guys and how many people in general are going to show up to a voluntary meeting at work?
Yeah.
And most of them not.
What's going on, Joey?
What's up?
Appreciate you coming through.
I got a question.
JR, good morning. Let me finish this up. We're almost done. JR, good morning. World class, good morning. Something in the water. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. JD6 messing up the locker room already. Yep, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get right to that. Who else? Did I get everybody? Marine Gamer got you. Yep. Got everybody. Okay. All right. What's your question, Ferris?
Why is that no local guy ever thought to themselves, let me get in with Lamar. Let me talk to him. Let me try to be like a source, or like try to him be a source. Like why does it feel like there's like, why does it feel that
I'm sure
way?
I'm sure they have, and I think that's part of the frustration with them. I think that's why they come up with these stories, because he doesn't talk to many people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he tries to keep. He's very private.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps to himself. He's low key,
Right.
and he's not trying to like start any real drama. I think he talks to people here and there, but like he doesn't. No, he doesn't really do interviews like that.
Yeah, and then they kind of pissed him off because right after we got eliminated from the playoffs, Jameson Hemsley like, oh, how do you feel about next season and John Harbaugh being the head coach? And he was visibly pissed. Like, I've never seen him pissed like that, and he hasn't done an interview since. So it's kind of hard to get close to somebody who, no matter what he says, they're going to spin certain narratives. So he just says what he wants to online and lets it be as it may. I mean, he ain't worried about what these people think. I'm sure people have tried to get close. But he's like, I ain't for it, because I know that you support the team. Your agenda lies with the team. I'm going to stick to my people.
Yeah, definitely. Dr. Kush, appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Says, what are y'all thoughts on Jaxson Dart, Harbaugh, and a dual Carter situation? Oh, we're going to talk about it. So let's bring this up. So Abdul Carter responding to this tweet. It's a video where Jaxson Dart is introducing Donald Trump ahead of his speech in New York. And Abdul Carter says, thought this shit was AI. What are we doing, man? And listen, he came out a couple hours later, said, hey, me and Jaxson Dart, we worked it out. Y'all can keep your narratives. And I was like, no, we're not going to keep our narratives. We're definitely going to talk about it. You put it out there.
Right.
And, rightfully so. Listen, and I seen some other former players like Lawrence Tynes chime in on it, saying, "Oh, you don't, that's locker room. You keep that in the locker room." Some other idiot came out and said the same thing. You're breaking locker room code, bro.
Brendan Fehoko.
Yeah, that's the stupidest take I ever heard. You're not paying attention to the environment that we're in. He is the most hated president in the history of our nation, and for very good reason. And it doesn't matter where you fall on the spectrum, politics wise. You can't have somebody that's actively trying to tear down your government,
right,
and keep quiet about that. This is completely different. And if he wanted to keep things just in the locker room, keep things about football, you don't go out there publicly to support somebody like that in a time like this, right? People are going to feel a certain way about that for sure. They're going to react to it, and he has a right to react to it as well, right? No need to keep quiet about that. Yeah, you can call him out publicly. Doesn't mean you can't go out there and be professional and play together. But when you have somebody like that showing support for somebody like that, he's clearly sending a message. Okay, so now it's like, okay, now I understand where you're at. I know what you're about. It is what it is. I'll just see you at work. Right.
Yeah. Why is it? Because a lot of time I saw people like they put the onus on Abdul Carter. It's like they put the onus on him, not the onus on the starting quarterback of the team, right? Because right, guys. Every time we talk about leadership in the NFL, right? So, your leadership. Who's the leader of the team? It's the quarterback. So the onus isn't, so your alleged leader for every NFL team. Me personally, I hate that, because I personally think quarterbacks aren't actually leaders in the NFL. Because if they were actual leaders, they would lead them in a more important battle. But I digress. Your quarterback is your leader. You've created the situation. Abdul Carter sees the situation. He reacted to the situation that you created. You're the starting quarterback. You created the situation. And Abdul Carter is just reacting to it. And that's what it is. Me personally, to this day, that it is May 25th, 2026. To this day, I still don't know why there's people even backing dude. to this day, I still don't know, because he's made it very clear. He's destroyed congressional districts in the South. When did racism stop being a deal breaker for people? When did that stop being a deal? You know what I mean?
Well, listen, I think
I know
a lot of people.
never,
It's an eye opener that this country has always been racist, right? There's
Mhm.
always been a portion of this country that's just straight up racist, and they support that more than anything, even to their own detriment. And that's what you're finding out now. But the overwhelming majority aren't racist and hate this guy, and like, he is the least popular president ever. Like, even for some of these people that are staunch conservatives and they always vote Republican no matter what, can't get with what he's doing. Like, you're starting unnecessary wars, you're jacking up the price of oil. This is usually when it comes down to for a lot of these uneducated voters, where it's just like, yeah, Trump. Hold up, why am I paying $5 a gallon for gas?
$7 over here
in California. It was
right. Hold up, why can't I afford to buy ground beef anymore?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, once it gets to the point where you can't afford to put gas in your car to go to work, you can't buy things that you need to eat, then it's like, for those reasons, I'm out. Like Shark Tank, right? For that reason, I'm out. I can't get with you anymore. You can't be going out there supporting that, especially in New York. Especially in New York. New York does not, they have no love for Donald Trump. And that's a long history, well before he became president.
Facts.
Okay.
It's his home state. And they voted against him in every single election because they know he's a trickster.
Yeah.
He's a shyster. He's a con man. They told everybody, don't trust this dude. And he lost Jersey and New York because they knew.
Yeah, they hate him. Thank you for the super chat. It says, who's got it better than us? Good luck with that, ish. Good luck with that, Ferris.
Do you know Ferris? Do you know? When Trump called Baltimore ghetto and trash and all that, your head coach was like, "Oh, I love the guy. He's the best." He didn't defend Baltimore one bit.
I see some of these Giants fans, right? They talk about that and they're like, "Oh, you're mad about this? Let me show you a photo of your head coach." Or I'm like, "Yeah, I'm mad about that too." Like, is this like a gotcha moment, dipshit? Like, what are you trying to do? This ain't no gotcha moment. I didn't like that. I don't like this.
Right.
There's something I want to talk about, but I don't know if it's your show, Jose. But there's one thing. Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna talk about it. Right. At worst,
right.
Our president, at worst,
what's up,
is a pedophile. At worst, he's a pedophile. At best,
I think at worst he's even worse than that.
I think you're right. I think
he is a puppet for a foreign country, doing their bidding for a couple.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
But at best, he's a pedophile enabler. He's a pedophile enabler at best.
Yeah.
When did pedophilia stop being a deal breaker for people? When did that stop being a deal breaker?
In this country, a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know where everybody grew up. Where I grew up. If I found that out about somebody, let's just say they're not staying on this earth very long. You know what I mean? I don't know how that's gonna happen. I usually don't know, but I'm just saying they usually don't stay on this earth very long.
Right.
So that's where I'm confused. I thought there's the one thing conservatives and liberals can agree on. The one thing I was like, we can agree on this one thing.
We are finding out people's actual morals.
Yep.
Right. And listen, me and Hendo being on this earth a little bit longer, these things don't surprise us. Like, even the people you think, oh, they're really nice, they're really cool, you start to find out really what they what they value in this country. And it's showing. Like I said, it ain't too many people backing this guy these days,
right?
But if you're a Giants fan, your quarterback is one of those people.
Facts. And then what's really sad to me is, and to your point first, it's crazy how as a correction officer, when I was a corrections officer, you have guys that have committed some of the most horrendous crimes ever. They'll band together on one thing. They don't with no pedophiles. Like they in jail, they have a strict code of conduct. As far as that's why they always trying to find out why you're in jail. When it comes to those pedophiles, they will go get them. But
they're in protective custody.
But it's crazy how in this world, in this free world, we don't have those same standards. And a lot of people are going to come in here and be like, oh, you're mixing politics and sports. We didn't mix it. Jaxson Dart did. Like he knew exactly what he was doing. And for me, I don't care what your affiliation is. You back who you back. You like who you like. But when you bring it to a public forum like that, you put your team under duress. Like you put your team in the spotlight. Why did you think that this was going to be a good idea for you to do this? Because there are going to be people on the other side of the fence that's going to take offense to this. And you, as the supposed leader of this team, should know better. You already had the head coach who went under fire with us. Like we had players that didn't verbally come out and say, oh, John Harbaugh, I can't rock with him no more, but they were visibly upset, and it kind of shook this team to its core. So why would you, as the quarterback, do the exact same thing? You can support him from afar. You don't have to be the one opening up for this man. And it's just crazy. Like, hey, keep that in New York.
Hey man, because here's the thing, man. The one thing he loves a good lawsuit. He sued CBS, got himself some money, got Stephen Colbert fired. He sued the IRS, which is hilarious because he's also the boss of the IRS to create
he's trying to steal from
exactly
the American people. That's what he's trying to do.
But there's the one thing he hasn't sued anybody is there's been a bunch of people calling him a pedophile for weeks, months, over a year.
Years.
That opens discovery.
Exactly. He starts suing people in discovery. They say, you got to prove that I'm wrong. You got to put the unredacted files in discovery. Then we're going to find out for real.
Yeah. All right. Let's True Libra makes a point here. Says Kaepernick got dragged for kneeling. WTF. I pray all black athletes and fans in the South sign with HBCUs. Let's make our schools profitable. That's another thing I want to bring up on an overtime show as well. The NCAA, NAACP wants athletes in the South, like especially SEC, to start protesting and not signing with these schools, right? Since they roll back black voting rights in the South. Right. I had some mixed feelings about it. Like I'm for protesting in general. I'm not for adults calling for kids to protest when you're not doing anything. And NAACP, I have issues with them as an organization.
Right? Do they still do what they were supposed to? Like
some chapters do. So a lot of chapters are just, they just come out every now and then and just run their mouth like this. Like you could be organizing and do a lot of things. You could be organizing a lot of boycotts to ask 18-year-olds to make a sacrifice,
right?
While the adults aren't doing anything. I'm not with that. Yeah, I'm not with that. Dr. Kush, salute. Thank you for the super chat. Says John Harbaugh and his mindset will be the demise of the New York Giant franchise. He will be fired before the trade deadline. Wow,
they owe him too much money.
I don't think it'll be that quick.
He'll
be fired before a trade deadline. They pay him too much money. It's
$100 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed, man.
Yeah. But it could happen next year. Like these owners, they have money, like $100 million. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but they can pay it. They don't want to pay it. Definitely not in year one. They'll let things play out in year one. But they are off to an awful start. You're absolutely right. Your quarterback cannot be out there doing things like this. Like I said, even if you support him, you can't go out there publicly supporting him. First of all, you're not even established, right?
Yes, I saw a tweet where someone said Jaxson Dart isn't good enough or hasn't done anything of note to have controversial political opinions. That's what the tweet was. Because funny enough, the greatest player in New York Giants history was at a Trump rally literally last year, Lawrence Taylor, And kind of everyone kind of glossed over because they're like, yeah, it's Lawrence Taylor. He's a little crazy. He's on the list. Makes sense.
And he's not playing anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah. You know, I saw another tweet saying in the world of Megan Rapinoe's, be a Jaxson Dart. So you're telling me in a world of Megan Rapinoe's, who was a 2-time World Cup champion, 3-time Olympic medalist, 2 of them being gold, multiple-time champion of her soccer league, don't be her, but be the quarterback that went 4-13 in his first year in the NFL.
Well,
or 4-11, I think. My bad.
More so, what did you disagree with that Megan Rapinoe said? That's what I want to know, right? Like when people bring up these, you know, Drew Libra talked about Kaepernick taking a knee, and people are saying that, you know, we're taking issue with that. What did he protest that you didn't agree with? That's why, anytime people bring that up, I want to know, like, what exactly don't you agree with? He said, I'm doing this to protest unarmed black people being killed by police in this country. What part of that do you disagree with?
Right.
Just curious.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you tell me, if you ask me, why do you have a problem with Jaxson Dart standing with President Trump? I can give you a long list. I will ask you, how much time do you have? Right. And we can start with the Epstein stuff. Right. And we could talk about how he's a puppet for Russia and Israel, and he's putting us in wars that's just weakening our country, destroying the world economy. He's made a mockery of our Constitution. Doesn't follow any.
He promised not to be in wars too. That's how he didn't he? Yeah. In his re-election campaign, he said, "Oh, unlike Biden, I'll take us out of all the wars. I'll release the files."
And all this we're talking about is just the tip of the iceberg. I can go on and on. I can give you a long list now. But if I ask you, what problem do you have with what Kaepernick said? What problem do you have with Megan Rapinoe said? I am curious. I want to know what I want to know that answer. I want to hear you say, well, I just don't agree with that. I want to hear that.
Facts, David. Yeah. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah. Like not everything's the same. Not every everything's the same. And if you want to say, hey, look, just in general, I don't think players should be out there like that, talking about things and causing controversy. There's some things that shouldn't cause controversy, right? And there's some things that should. Something like this, first of all, Kaepernick's teammates didn't have a problem with what he was doing.
Right.
That's one. He'd been doing it for way before the whole knee thing. He had been sitting down. It's just somebody finally noticed it. And even when he came out and talked about it, teammates were like, "Yep, cool,
right,
no problem
with
that."
Eric Reed's idea.
Veterans didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it was Eric Reed.
When they understood what he was actually doing it for, veterans didn't have a problem with it. So if you served in the armed forces and you don't have an issue with what he's doing, why should everybody else? And they talked about him being disrespectful for the national anthem and everything. What people really need to do is they need to go look at the flag code and look at how people wear the flag in clothing. Not supposed to do, it's against the law. How they hold the flag during NFL games, it's illegal. Not supposed to do it, but nobody talks about those things. They talk about the one thing that hits the point that they're trying to prove. Like if you want to scrutinize everything, scrutinize all of it.
Yeah, because initially he was sitting down, right?
Yeah.
He was sitting down, and then someone was like, "Hey man, that's disrespectful." And then he talked to Nate Boyer, the former Greenberg.
Who's Nate Boyer?
Yeah, good point. So
who's Nate Boyer? Like why do we want to go to him to discuss things about America? Is he's Captain America now because he served in the military? This is the biggest lie that this country has told you, that veterans are super Americans. Nobody's more Americans if you served in the military. You're just an American like everybody else. You're no more American than anybody else. Right? Yeah. There are all kinds of ways you can serve this country. Serving in the military is just one of those ways, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I hate when people do that. Like, I'm a veteran, I'm offended. So what does that mean?
Listen,
right? Like you're just a regular American. That's all you are.
Listen, when you say regular American, I don't know about your base, but on my base, Like I still vividly remember this whole setup of the barracks, right? Bottom left-hand corner, we had the duty hut. Right next to his hut, the drug dealer was right there. At the top left-hand corner, the prostitutes were there. All that you're more American. It's not. It's just a closed society that can say I did a certain thing. It's the same everywhere. So it's a lot of people that went in there because they couldn't find a job or they were trying to stay out of jail. So don't think this, just because somebody served, they're more American than the next person, because that's not the truth. For a lot of people, Jose, a lot of people we serve with, you already know.
Hey man, and it's a great deal for a lot of people, right? You get free housing, sometimes you get free education. You know what I mean? You get some programs you can qualify, you know, depending on the, so like it's also a good deal, man, to get yourself out of somewhere you don't want to be. So at the end of the day, it's a in a sense a monetary decision in some aspects. You know.
What's up, Tanja?
Facts.
Hey, Hendo, Jose Ferris. We got Memorial Day stream. Yeah. Facts. In fact, we'll be here a little bit longer. We're just going to hang out a little bit today. Love West says the problem is if somebody really likes you, there is no wrong they can do in their eyes, and vice versa. If they hate you, that's a fact. No matter what good you do or how many acts you do, they still won't like you. Facts. That's true. But
that's why I don't like Hendo.
But again, you have to have some morals in this country, right? And you know, like there isn't a good reason to support Trump at this point. And for Jaxson Dart, you should know that is going to people are going to have issues with that in the locker room. And I think I'm gonna go and do some digging. I think I heard somebody say yes, nobody's publicly other than Abdul Carter come out and say it, but there's some rambling saying that that other players have an issue with it, and of course they're gonna have an issue with it. Of course they are.
Yeah, man.
You know, I mean, there are other players like the Bosas. They openly support Trump, but not to the point where they're at rallies with them and everything. And again, you can do that to the extent that you can play. You can play well. The minute you're not playing well, you're not holding up your end, then there's a problem. So Jaxson Dart gotta go out there and really ball out and get some wins, because then you know they're already looking at you like we already know how you feel about us. Go out there and do your job. And if you're not doing your job, then it's, hey, why are you even here?
Also, too, on a sports vibes thing, like momentum wise, every sports team he's touched has failed spectacularly. Like they've lost all of them. He shook hands with Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes. What happened to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? He called the U.S. men's hockey team before the Four Nations. They lost to Canada after they beat Canada. Any team he's touched has fallen by the wayside. Even Bob, like literally, he is a poison chalice of just negative vibes and just ruins teams, ruins things. Because he sucks out all the good energy to himself because he's an egomaniac and because everything's about him. Yeah. You know what I mean? The reason presidents never went to the Super Bowl is that it creates a bigger fiasco and a catastrophe for security reasons that's already on top of it. But he wanted to go to the Super Bowl because it's me, man. I got to get on the camera. Then he got booed and then didn't go the next year. You know what I mean? Because he didn't like that.
Yeah. Michael Akins, good morning. Jerry Green, good morning. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through. Harry says people need to look at the third part of the national anthem and the reason why we don't sing it right. Thanks. It's not a patriotic song for Black and brown people, especially. Oh yeah.
Bro, at games, come on, guys, let's be real here. Everybody's walking around. Everybody getting their damn hot dog. They're getting their soda. They're getting their food. Most of the people aren't standing for it. So like this thing where everyone started losing their mind over what Kaepernick did, I was like, y'all have never been to a game because most people are like half the stadium are not in their seats and they're getting food. What are we doing here?
Oh, I intentionally don't stand up. I sit down intentionally and wait for somebody to say something to me because I'm a veteran. Know what you're talking about before you speak.
Well, man. Well, also the reason why you stand up at the national anthem before games start isn't for patriotism. It isn't because we love America so much that we do this. It's because the Pentagon for years has paid our sports leagues to advertise for the military.
Yep.
That's why you have military out there when they do these things. It's not because hey, we love America so much we have to do this. No, it's advertisement.
Yep.
That's all it is. You don't play the national anthem when you go out to restaurants. You don't play the national anthem when you go to movies, but they used to at one point. All right. But again,
for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was and
back in your day, sheesh.
No. Well, I think maybe when we was younger, I think they did it for a couple of things.
No,
But like,
I've never done that.
For you younger people, when TV used to go off, they used to play the
yes.
Yeah.
Shut up first, you don't know.
No, I don't know. I would watch those infomercials about the knives.
No, TV went off and it would just be snow for the rest of the night.
I heard that existed.
Yeah. So it's just a advertising tool. It's not that's not patriotism.
Look at the commercials during football games, man. It's join the Marines, join the U.S. Army, drink some Bud Light, drink some Budweiser. Here's some Tostitos chips. So if you join the Marines,
they fly.
Yeah,
fighter jets across the stadium and all that stuff. Right. They got veterans out there holding the flag and all that.
Hey man, join the U.S. Army to give you some Tostitos and some beer.
So if they're so patriotic, why don't they do the armed forces for free? Why do they have to be paid sponsors? If you're so patriotic, right?
Yeah,
right, exactly. Add to process. Also, Abdul saying that he talked like grown man. Yeah, we talked about that. And he's not cool with what he did or did. He got the call from the organization and they threatened by cutting him. No, I don't think they threatened him. And you can't threaten. He's in the second year of his contract. It's a fully guaranteed contract. You're not threatening him by cutting him. But if they want to cut him, come to Baltimore.
They say John Harbaugh had to talk to him.
So I put in the title that this could be a golden opportunity for the Ravens because I already believe that Malik Neighbors is out. I don't think he wants to play for the Giants. Right? I've been saying this from the jump. John Harbaugh does not want Malik Neighbors there. Didn't you guys draft the wide receiver?
In the fourth round.
In the third round.
Third or fourth round or something.
Who'd you draft?
Malachi Fields. Some big bodied Notre Dame wide receiver. He's like a 3 or a 2.
I believe it. Now he's got a lingering knee issue. I just don't feel like he wants to play for Harbaugh. Harbaugh's the type of person that will put it out there. Like he'll let it be known that he don't really rock with you. And I just feel like they're already off to a bad start. And then now you got your quarterback that's openly MAGA. I just feel like he gonna be like, look, just trade me, man. I don't want to play here, especially if they're not winning. Right. So opportunity for the Ravens, maybe.
That's right. I'd be saying swap Neighbors for Bateman.
I would rather stick a porcupine in my face than ever accept that.
But it's not about what
Neighbors doesn't want to play there.
No, at least give me something better than Rashard Bateman.
But he's a Harbaugh guy, so Harbaugh doesn't. Listen, Harbaugh doesn't worry about talent. He worries about his guys.
So. I do worry about that.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry, but
that's the look of Ferris realizing, oh my God, this could happen. Because I was just about to say this. Like, it's possible. That is possible because, and this is why I don't like any coaches to be GMs. Coaches and GMs should be separate at all times. And he has GM powers, essentially, right?
Basically.
Because a GM can come in there and say, no, man, there's not enough value there. I know you like this person, but we got to get more value for this player. Mm-hmm. But because he's the coach and he likes his guys, he can just say, make this deal happen. And the deal will happen. I'm not trying to mess you up, Ferris. Right?
No,
because
here's the thing. No, because here's the thing, Jose. Here's the thing, Jose. Like the Maras have been in the game for a while. Okay. You can't just have your coach just keep getting rid of your best players. At a certain point, you as the owner has to be like, hey, man, we had to trade Dexter Lawrence because he don't want to be here. Mm-hmm. We had to Saquon Barkley walked because he don't want to be here. Malik Neighbors don't want to be here. Abdul Carter don't want to be here. Something wrong here. Mm-hmm. Like at the end of the day, you got to stop blaming everybody else, and you got to stop people from losing talent. And this was crazy to me too about the Maras. You know what's crazy to me is what's that? You mad that your wide receiver is a little malcontent and he's a little mad. He's a little moody. Yeah. But the greatest player of your all time is a crackhead. Thanks. Is a crackhead. Your father literally let him play on crack.
Thanks.
Who was on crack?
But a wide receiver who's a little moody is where you draw the line.
Hey Ferris, I'm gonna need your help with this one. This is from your division, and you say value for value. I can't remember who the linebacker was, but Chip Kelly traded Shady McCoy for Kiko Alonso. Yeah. Hey. So let's not say value for value. We've seen it before when a coach has power. When a coach has power to trade a player for one of his guys, those guys were not on the same level at all.
Bro, dude, he also basically said Deshaun Jackson's a gangbanger.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, where did you get that from?
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like you didn't like you grew up watching your father run this team. And literally the best player of his team, he let literally.
Right. And
but a moody wide receiver is where you draw the line.
Yeah. And he can't handle it. But that's the thing. Like Harbaugh cannot handle players with strong opinions, strong personalities. I should say strong personalities. That's been his MO his entire career in Baltimore, and he's coached long enough and got a job too quick enough for him to change up, right? He put himself in a position to where he's like, I don't even have to talk to anybody anymore. He already had a good scenario in Baltimore where he was on equal footing with the GM, which is something I also don't agree with, right? The tiebreakers goes to the owner, but Bisciotti wanted to be where you guys work hand in hand, you guys come to agreement, you work it out. But I'll be the tiebreaker, not the GM. I don't believe in that. I think the GM is a GM for a reason. You get somebody that you trust, and the GM is there to save the coach from himself at times. Right? That's what a good GM does. But he went to New York, and they immediately gave him the everything. GM powers, right? And he's not good enough at that part of it because that's a separate job.
Right.
It doesn't work out for anybody. Even somebody like Belichick. Belichick won all the Super Bowls. True. Mm-hmm. Terrible GM. And in the end, it finally caught up to him.
Right. Mm-hmm. And first, I had a question. What was the point of extending Joe Shane?
No, that's the thing. Here's the thing, right?
Somebody got to get some donuts.
Yeah, exactly. That and here's the thing too, right?
Somebody got to grab a coffee.
Right.
It's the way the NFL operates, right? It's like if they wanted to get rid of him, they would have fired him when they hired John. John would have picked his own GM. So what they do in the NFL is they don't let GMs operate on 1-year deals. Like it's kind of like the BS code. Oh, we got we got to make So like when he didn't get fired right away, I knew the contract extension was coming. He wasn't going to be a lame duck GM on his issue, right? Because you could do them like they do players, right? Like players, you're on your last year, prove it to me. But with GMs, you can't really prove it in that 1 year left. He's proven to me that he's a horrible GM. That's what he's proven to me. Yep. He should have been fired automatically when you hired John, but when he wasn't fired automatically, this extension was I wasn't shocked by it.
But he's
I knew
not
it was
the
coming.
GM. But he's not the GM.
Yeah, because
he can't prove anything. He's not making
exactly
personnel decisions. That's
well,
crazy.
someone has to scout the random kid from Pittsburgh State. You know what I mean? He's basically like a glorified scout now. Because here's the thing too is, as the GM, you gotta be good at not the mundane things, but like the things like you gotta find some good players off of the waiver wire, or someone that was cut, or someone. He did none of that. There's actually more instances of him being a horrible GM. He threatened Nick McLeod. He threatened Nick McLeod. People say Nick McLeod. No one has a bad thing to say about Nick McLeod. One of the best professionals in the league. He threatened him, said like, "You better keep your bags packed, cause I'll cut your ass."
First, they said you got to cut GM.
Basically, yes, that's true. He got mad that Julian Love wanted to see if his market was better than the contract they were giving him. When he didn't.
Let's pause the show for a second, Ferris, because Tracy is here. Good morning, Tracy. Good to see you. That's for you. Thank you. Yeah. Love what said. Did y'all see what Marshall Falk said about black head coaches? I did not see. What? Please don't let it be something.
No. It was why is it that former black players who become coaches can't really become head coaches on the college level? There's 135 head coaching jobs in the NCAA top division. 13 of them are black head coaches.
Yeah.
And in the top conferences, the ACC and the SEC, there's one black head coach. And you know where that is? University of Virginia. No one else, every other coach in the ACC and the SEC, they're all white. I think in the Big 12, the only black coach is Dion. I don't know how many black coaches are in the Big 10. I think there's 0 in the Big 10. No, one. Your own Michael Oxley at Maryland. Jose will tell you his feelings about Mike Loxley. But yeah, there's only
great recruiter.
Great recruiter. It actually decreased because 2 years ago it was 17. Now down to 13. So 13 out of 135.
We actually did an episode a while back on this on black coaches, and B had read the stats then on how many black coaches there were in college football, and the numbers hold up. I'll say that the numbers hold up. I'm glad you said that. He's absolutely right. You have you have all these players that play the game, and I'm not saying that you can that transitions into head coaching,
right?
But it transitions more than I used to make copies of the playbooks for the coach. Now I get a shot at being a head coach. It translates more than that does.
Right.
But
or I was a great player.
Notre Dame
can be a GM.
Notre Dame has a black head coach. Marcus Freeman. I didn't forget the most prominent one, Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.
At Notre Dame, which is pretty wild. That's 2 black head coaches for them.
Oh man, general managers like Andrew Luck, they just pluck these guys from everywhere and just like, oh, you were a great player. Come in and do this for this university.
There you go. And Jay talked about it in his show too. And check him out, Southern Baller Show. That's a dope dope YouTube channel. Go check him out. Go subscribe. All right.
Yeah, man.
He says Dart doing all of these black things and doing black culture stuff and doing the dances and wearing diamonds and dressing like blacks, and then goes and supports Trump, and people let him say the N-word. The N-word thing is in question. People said like he wasn't like, I guess there was some video going out where they're on a group call and they're using that, but Jaxson Dart wasn't on that call. That's what I'm hearing. I think that's what you're referring to. But yes, I mean, a lot of people steal black culture and aren't really for black people. Like that doesn't surprise me, right? They want to use this as entertainment, and then wonder why people are mad at them for why they for voting a certain way or hanging with certain people and don't understand. They don't understand why it's offensive. You understand, you just don't care, right? Whenever people say I don't understand, no, you understand, you just don't care. People are telling you why what you're doing is offensive, what you're saying is offensive, why we don't like certain things, and you're doing it anyway. You don't care, right?
Everybody want to be a till it's time to be a. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. World classes, I blame Drake for all of this.
Hey, world class, for once, me and you right there, bro.
Yeah, with Marshall Faulk, I think
Donald Trump of coaches.
Yeah, maybe. I think also with Marshall, is like, where's the pathway, right? Like, give us the pathway, right? Like what? Funny enough, like what the Niners did with DeMeco Ryans, right? They hired DeMeco. He was their outside linebackers coach. Then became the main linebackers coach. Then he became the defensive coordinator. And Kyle Shanahan gave him a pathway. And then boom, head coach of the Houston Texans. Right? You know, same thing with Robert Saleh. There's a pathway. You know, you were the copy guy. You and Matt LaFleur were the copy guys in Houston. There's a pathway. Then you became the linebackers coach. And then you became the defensive coordinator. Then you went to New York, and then you came back. You know, there's a pathway. There's no pathway because they don't want you to have a pathway. Like, because like someone said early on, right? You know, you may probably get more money in the NFL, possibly, you know, 20 million, 100 million. But like, there's power. There's complete control in college. Mm-hmm. It's a dictatorship. It's my way or highway. You're the highest paid public employee in the state, in some states. Like Nick Saban was the highest paid public employee in the state of Alabama for the 15 years he was there. You run the state if you are great. Mm-hmm. That's the way it is. But that's the reason they don't want black men in that position, because they don't want black men to have power. Even this fake power of you're the head coach of a national prominent program. It's power they see, that power you're not supposed to have, that you're never going to have, because if we start giving y'all power, what are they going to do to us? Thinking like,
Ferris is on to something.
It is. And then like you look at the situation, what is it? Tommy Tuberville?
Yeah.
Like you look at that, and when you become that popular in certain states, now you can run for office. You can make real change, and they don't want that. Mm-hmm.
He running for office off his coaching career. Ain't that
crazy?
He's dude, like, and he was crazy too, man. He has said some of the most racist things I've ever seen in my entire life. And this was a man who would walk into a black home and say, I want your boy to play for me. I'm going to love your boy like my son. I'm going to take care of him. I'm going to treat him with love and respect. And he goes out there and he says some of the most vile, disgusting things I've ever seen in my entire life. That was a man coaching young kids. Young kids.
Like, we have to, as adults, right? Like, when we're kids and we look at some of these players, whatever, like, we still that innocent phase. We don't know anything about the world yet. We just love that player. We love that sport, whatever. As adults, and we're grown up and we have fully developed minds and enough experience, you got to learn to separate the athlete from the person. Mm-hmm. And definitely from the politics, because Tuberville is a perfect example. You might have loved him as a coach. Your team was winning. But as soon as he entered the realm of politics, you say, man, hell no. Ain't no way I'm voting for you. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? Right? Like, you guys already know how I feel about Ray Lewis. As a player, one of my favorite players. I think he's the best linebacker of all time. Mm-hmm. And as a person, I don't even want to buy his book.
Facts.
Right? Like, I don't know, not buy it. I don't want a copy of his book. I told the story before. My ex-wife was at a book signing. Like she was, I don't know why she was there. She doesn't watch football, but she was there. She met him, she took pictures with them and everything. And she had a copy of the book, and she was so excited. She texted me. She was like, hey, look who's here. I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, hey, I got a copy of his book. I can get him to sign it for you. And I was like, no, thank you. She's like, what? I got a picture of Ray Lewis in my basement, standing over a laid out Ben Roethlisberger. Love him as a player. Do I want his book? No, thank you. Nope. I'm good. Is it a book about football? No. Pass.
Facts. Two knees can stay where he is.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Don DeWan says they know when certain people get certain jobs, the market will start to ask for exactly that, and they can't control it. As adults today, we need to push the 50 to 60 plus year olds out of power. I don't even think it's an age thing. I think it's a career thing. I don't think there should be career long politicians. I don't think there should be like these like 30 year long coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like you have your time and then you move on. Like I understand. Like and I don't want to say like older people can't do things. They can, but when they've been at one place for too long in these positions, they feel like they don't have to change. You know what I mean? They don't have to change. They can do things that like they normally do, and that's where you run into problems. And then they've kind of amassed too much power where they're at to get pushed out, because we had the same issue with Maryland with Gary Williams. Won the title, and it's just like now I don't have to recruit anybody. Like after he won a title, he didn't recruit Carmelo Anthony. He didn't recruit KD. Like, he just didn't want to play the game anymore. He said that. He's just like, look, I'm not going to talk to any AAU coaches or anything like that. I'm gonna do it my way. And it's just like, so you just, because you won a title, you decide you're not going to get Maryland's best players anymore. Right. Homegrown.
His empire
you're not
crumbled.
going to do it anymore. And he could do that because he had enough power to do so. So things like that, I'm not for. They should have been able to fire him. I'd have fired him immediately. Like, we mean you didn't get Carmelo. I know you just won, but you want to get. I want to win again.
Right.
And then, right. Like you didn't get KD, you didn't get Michael Beasley, like you didn't get all like Ty Lawson, like you didn't get all these players.
Nolan Smith.
Nolan Smith. Don't say that.
You know,
hey,
like,
stop. What's the matter with you, man? He was the number one shooting guard in the nation, the number one player in Maryland.
Like you didn't get all these players because
let him go to
don't
Duke.
Want the AAU coaches. I would have given Melo. All right, I'd have been salty about that. But when KD came around and you didn't recruit him, he ends up going to Texas.
Right.
Nah, bro, you're fired.
Right.
Yo, like Michael Beasley went to Kansas State.
Right.
Yeah.
Fired.
No, because season 2, like, and when you hear the Kevin Durant story more, it's more damning because he said, "Oh yeah, they showed up my end of my junior year. Texas was there from the beginning." So I'm like, how do you not know your region?
Right.
You should know your region better than people from Texas. You should have a database of like who in my region, and also too is at this point the this little area, this was AAU Central.
Yep.
This was AAU Central, man. And we talking about is it DCS? It was DC Assault. This was the hub, and you didn't know because you're an egomaniac and you think your way is the highway. Because guess what? You didn't evolve, and guess what? The program died, your career died, and Maryland basketball died, and that's your fault.
Thanks.
Because here's one too is Coach K was about to be a dinosaur, but then he realized, you know what? I gotta change.
Yep.
Boom. He got into the one and done game. Jaleel Okafor, Justice Winslow, Grayson Allen, Tyus Jones. Guess what happened? Championship.
You know why he decided he had to change? Because Duke went to him and said, "Hey man, you like these commercials that you're in? You like this salary? You like this way of live this way of living? You like this quality of life that you've been afforded? That can end. Stop playing these games and go get those one and dones, and we need to get back to winning." He said, "I guess I better get back to winning."
And that's what we did.
He saw what happened. Everyone saw what happened at Kentucky in 2012, where that team was 95% freshmen. And they saw Anthony Davis and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Marquise Teague, and then they had the sophomore and Deron Lamb and Terrence Jones, and they had the senior Darius Miller. That's Memphis. He was Memphis. Yeah, but they saw what happened. Like, oh, the two of the best players on that Kentucky team were two freshmen, plus Marquise Teague. That's another freshman. That's three freshmen in your starting lineup, and they won a national title. And they were like, "Ooh, Cal is gonna lap us." And here's the thing too. No one wants to talk about it. No one likes John Calipari. They think he's an arrogant sack. You know, and no one likes seeing him win. So all the coaches started changing. Because Coach A's like, if John Calipari can walk into a room and convince a kid to come to his school, I'm Coach K. I can convince a kid to come to my school for a year.
I think it's funny. Let me read the super chat from Kobe. Hey, what's up, Kobe? Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Says the Giants hate watch is going to be legendary. We're going to be covering a lot of Giants this year, I feel like. And let me read this from Ellis. What's up, Ellis? Hey. Salute to you. Says my AAU team, my senior year, which would be like the year 2000. We had Derek Snowden, went to Villanova, Melvin Scott, okay, North Carolina, and Keith Jennifer went to Virginia. Yeah. None of them to Maryland. None of them to Maryland. Like he just did not recruit this area because he felt like he didn't have. He said it. I remember listening to some of his interview. He said he just wasn't going to talk to certain coaches, and he used a lot of those dog whistles when you talk about these because they're black coaches. He's like, oh, this person's a thug and this and that, or he's like he had these strong words for these coaches. I'm like, these coaches have never been in any kind of trouble. They've never done anything shady. Right.
He was right about one of them, though. The other ones, no, but he was right about one of them.
Okay, as compared to
I was making a joke about the DC assault guy, but continue.
Right, like like
I do Curtis Malone.
Yeah, he just didn't want to go to them because again, it's a power thing, right? Yeah. You want this player, you gotta come to me. And yes, a lot of times you get these coaches. They're trying to position themselves for a better job. That's the game. And you play that game with people that you know and that you like. But when if somebody's not in your circle, somebody that you don't know, somebody that's a different color, then you're like, I don't want to talk to you. All right, then you don't get this player. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the game. Like that. And for Calipari, it's funny because like I've heard Gary Williams and other coaches talk about Calipari, and they don't like the way he does things or whatever. You don't like in your world of nepotism and privilege that somebody out-privileged you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. He did it a little bit better than you because I remember at the time when he said that, like he threw John Calipari at the bus, and like a lot of Maryland fans defended him. Was like, hey, we do things the right way around here. That's what he said. We do things the right way. But did you know at the time when he said that, Maryland had the worst graduation rate in the country for athletes? That's the right way.
Hey,
they had the lowest graduation rate. So like you're not graduating these players, and you're not getting the best players.
That's what happened with Cal football. Like this is Cal, probably top every year when you come out. Like what's the top public institutions in the world? The world, Cal's like top 5. Some years they were 1, but your football team had a graduation rate of 55%.
Right.
That don't look good. That don't look good for the great institution of Cal Berkeley.
Right.
That our football players are graduating at a 55% rate. That's not good. That doesn't make you look good. Exactly, man. Not because he's thinking about Calipari, man. The kids win in Calipari's eyes. Every time Calipari did something, the kids usually win more often than not.
And that's what you're there for. You're there to win. You're there to put yourself in a position to make money. That's the whole point of it. It's a business. Joshua Hughes says, I'm late, but Marlon Humphrey supports Trump. I don't think it was support. It was kind of like a.
I
didn't see what the tweet.
Yeah, he had a tweet. I don't think it was a support tweet. It was more of a. I don't know with him, man. He annoys me, man. I've hated him since the day
I'm not Joshua. I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't know the reference. Right. But like,
all right, here it is. The fake Trump hate funny to me. Majority voted for him, but everybody seemed to hate him. LOL. Somebody lying.
But that doesn't show support. I think he's calling people hypocrites. But again, that's somebody that doesn't understand politics. Here's a little bit of advice for y'all. Don't listen to athletes when it comes to politics. Right. Do your own research. Not saying that none of them know what they're talking about. Do your own research. Okay.
Right.
Yes, people voted for him, but again, even the people that are diehard Trump fans now are out on him. They're like, yo, man, I can't afford anything.
Even people in his own party have turned on him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're losers, but they turned on him. Here's the thing too. Also, don't look at Marlon Humphrey as a bastion of anything, because this man also tweeted, when you go to eat by yourself, do you watch something on your phone or do you just sit there? I'm watching YouTube golf, if you're ever wondering. Well, that's actually a good statement. What do you guys do?
Wasn't wondering. They get the super chat for Kobe. Thank you, Kobe. Appreciate you. Says I played New York high school ball with Drew Nicholas. Shout out to Drew Nicholas.
Indeed.
Gary Williams got it right with Drew Nicholas.
Yeah.
He says from Maryland championship team and met Coach Williams. He always struck me as an arrogant, entitled dude. Facts. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And don't you see?
I remember Drew Nicholas, man.
He was good. Don't you see the correlation though? Gary Williams won a title, did things his way, ran Maryland into the ground. John Harbaugh wins the title, does things his way. We have some of the greatest collection of talent in the NFL and have not been to a Super Bowl since we've done it the right way.
Yeah, man. Because here's the thing, man.
Oh, the super chat from Kobe. Appreciate you. Says, and 1/3 of the country didn't vote, so not a majority. Facts.
It's true.
Facts. That's the other thing too.
Yeah. And hey man, that's one thing no one also wants to talk about. They sued to eliminate mail-in ballots that the year he won re-election. They sued and were like, you can't do that no more. So a lot of mail-in ballots didn't get counted, as well as no one wants to talk about it. On election night, bomb threats were called on DeKalb County in Atlanta and other parts of Georgia.
Oh, they doing anything? They're doing anything this time around to rig the election. Everybody knows it,
man.
We can't stick our heads in the sand about the things that this regime is doing. Cannot do it. You cannot play dumb. Anybody that does that is being disingenuous. And honestly, they're telling on themselves. When I hear Lawrence Tynes talk about, it's locker room talk, you don't talk about that. When I hear what's the other dude, Brendan, whatever, say the same thing. Yeah, saying, oh well. You don't talk about that. That's keep that between yourselves. And you didn't have a problem when Obama was in office and he was doing drone strikes. First of all, that's a false equivalency, right? These are two different things. Second of all, Abdul Carter was 11 when Obama was in office.
Right.
Third, usually when you hear people say things like that, that's because they support what's going on, right? They're low-key conservatives. It's only conservatives that don't want to express their opinions publicly. It's only them that want to play this both sidesism, right? Everybody else, whether you're left-leaning, independent, whatever, everybody else can look at what's going on and say, nah, this dude did it. This dude did all those things. This is messed up. This dude has messed up the country. Do not like him. It's the ones that low-key want to support still that do this. Oh well, I don't want to talk about that, or let's keep this out. Let's just keep this straight football. No, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to talk about this stuff. All right. Thank you, Kobe, for another super chat. Says funny. Only some people should shut up and dribble.
I was just thinking that.
I went through a phase because every time they do that, right? So every time I would just use their talk on them. Right. Anytime a conservative athlete would say something like, hey man, I want you to keep your politics out of my sports. Okay. You shut your mouth. I don't want your politics here. We're talking sports here. You use their language on them, right? And then you see how they react. And then you realize, like, you see how stupid you sound? Because this is the thing y'all be saying to us. You so dumb. I used to say to my white friends, a good trick to know if they were cool. I was like, you know what? You're one of the good ones. And if they understood,
right,
they got it. If they didn't understand and they got mad,
Wes Hall, what's good? Says I read a theory that Trump rigged 2016 and 2014, and the only reason he lists 2020 was because he lost 2020 was because of COVID and had so many paper ballots. Yeah, that is the theory. Especially this last one, there's a strong theory that he did rig the election. And listen, everything that they're trying to do now speaks to that. They are openly trying to rig the election.
Right.
But the crazy thing is, he is so hated. He is so hated. It may not matter. Like they're gerrymandering a lot of these districts, right? To try to get it in their favor. But Republicans hate him too. That's going to be the crazy thing when he still loses because he's that disliked. You cannot even the poorest, most uneducated people that just die hard Trumpers and they believe everything that gets put on the TV. At some point, for some of them, when they go to the grocery store and they can't afford anything, when they go put gas in their car and they can't put more than 2 gallons because it's ballooned up to $5 to $7 a gallon. That breaks that Trump fever real quick. That breaks it real quick, right? And anytime you hear him on TV now, like he's not even saying anything that's
he doesn't care anymore.
No, like he's lost his mind. He's just rambling. Oh, well, what about my ball? Take a look at my ball. Right?
My ballroom.
Yeah.
He talked about a couple of days ago where he's like, I'm really popular in Tel Aviv. I'm big in Tel Aviv, guys. Maybe after the presidency, I may go run for prime minister over there. They treat Benjamin really badly over there. I may end up having to run president. I was like, hey,
all these things, that's when people at some point people be like, hey, you know what? I can't with this dude. Not this dude.
Because here's the thing about him, right? He sometimes is honest to a point where you're like, Donald, you shouldn't have said that. Now you're screwed. Because he's given us like so much stuff. Be like, you said this, big dog. He's like, wait, no, I didn't say that. It's like, right. Yeah, you did. We got like you on tape saying
there's no video proof of it.
Like there's video proof of you saying this. And he's like, no, I never said that's a lie. He literally just can't stop talking.
But I tell you what, though, at some point we're gonna, I don't have much faith, but I have a little faith. We're gonna, we'll take this country back somewhat, and when we look back in history and we look at how awful this time was, I'm keeping receipts of all the people that show support.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping receipts because people love to do that revisionist history thing where they act like they weren't with it. No, you were, and I'm gonna keip track of that.
It's Kobe.
Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to keep track of that. Hard to vote just for hate when you're hungry. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Here's the thing, Kobe. They've been doing it for years.
No. It's a little bit different now. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different now for us because, like, for me, and like you said, Jose, I'm keeping receipts. I don't even talk to my brother no more because he voted for Trump, and I don't, and I didn't stop talking to him just because he voted for Trump. I stopped talking to him because for like a lot of Trump supporters, they only latch on to one thing that he says. And they stick with that narrative and run with it. They don't look at his whole political platform. They just hear, no taxes on overtime. And they run with that narrative, but don't hear everything else. Just like you said, for us with the hunger. He told people, I'm cutting Meals on Wheels. I'm cutting it out. And people were like, I'm going to still vote for him because they ain't talking about me.
I'm going to cut food stamps.
And then when he did it, those same people are like, I'm hungry. What is he doing? I thought it was for those people, not me. He told you exactly what he was going to do, and he did it. And now people are surprised that he did it. So for me, it's the people that don't listen to everything he's saying. They just latch on to that one thing that pertains to them, and they vote for him for that instead of looking at looking at everything in totality, in total, and figuring out this is bad for the economy, this is bad for America, this is bad for how we look around the world. And now
I think it's I do think it's interesting that
for the record, we also do talk about sports on the show. I just want that for the record.
Yeah.
Normally.
Normally.
Well, you're getting extra time now, so
extra time.
I do think this is. Thank you, Jaxson Dart. Okay, if you're wondering why are we talking about this, Ferris's boy decided
it's apropos that his number is 6, right? It's apropos, ain't it?
But I do think it's I do think
JD 6, J6.
I bet you Trump was thinking that when he saw it. It's like
J6,
yeah,
my people.
But I do find it interesting to see like how racism manifests itself in this country and amongst different races, right? Because you have, when you have people come over here from different countries, you have different cultures or whatnot. The goal is always to ascend to whiteness, right? Because white is always considered successful. Black is considered criminal, right? The darker you are, whatever. And it's not just here. Other countries do that too. In India, they have a caste system based off your skin color, right? So
one of the castes is called the untouchables.
Right. So, but it's always interesting when they get here and you see how they vote politically, even when we try to tell y'all they are not for you, right? Cubans always vote Republican, right? Majority wise, because it's majority white Cubans are over here, and that's a whole nother story we can get into.
They hate socialism, communism, stuff like that.
Yeah. But that's a different thing. But you have a lot of Latinos just in general voting for Trump because they don't see themselves as a person of color per se, right? Or a different person of color. And this time around, it immediately came back to bite them because they're like, hold up, you're going to deport me? When you say criminal, I thought you were talking about the darker ones.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's funny. Hey, remember that video of that lady who was singing, vote for Donald Trump? That lady?
Yes.
Her husband got deported.
Yeah. A bunch of kids, a lot of them.
Yeah. It's just crazy to see that. And then like you said, like when Trump says he's cutting certain programs, they're thinking, oh, you're gonna cut the programs from those scammers and those criminals or whatever. And then you find out, oh, I use that same program. In fact, I'm the one that uses the program the most.
Right.
When you make cuts to welfare,
right?
Who suffers the most?
White folk.
Oh, it ain't us.
Jose, this is something that's been propagated for the longest time. They like to make welfare a black thing. They always talk about that. But what people don't know, people don't really know what welfare is, what it consists of. All the entities and all the organizations, 70% of welfare recipients are Caucasian. People don't know that, but they make it a black thing. And when it comes to the foreigners coming over here, it's about proximity. Nowadays, I don't understand it. I can kind of understand it in the past before social media and the internet and all these things, because they control media, they control television. So what they pump overseas is they pump the narratives, they pump the gangster movies, they pump all the pimps and the 70s black exploitation. So when people come over here, they have this expectation of us because that's all they've been shown on TV. But nowadays, when you have your own mind, like you say, do your own research, you can see this is not true. But yet still, they still come over here and want that proximity. When I used to work for Comcast, and this used to just blow my mind. When I used to work for Comcast, I've been in hundreds of thousands of houses, right? And the thing that they don't realize is when they're sitting at the table having these conversations about us, when you leave the room and we come in, they talk about y'all the same way.
Facts.
Facts. Hey, man, I don't know what you're talking about, man, but I grew up, I wanted to be Shaft. All right.
You're Benjamin Buttons. You're a little different.
Hey, I wanted to be Shaft.
You saw society from the beginning.
Exactly.
Hey, shout out to Kobe. Kobe, thank you for the super chats. Really appreciate it. Says a lot of people's pop and nanas act like they weren't trying to keep Ruby Bridges from going to school. Facts. They love to retroactively say they like MLK. Yeah. 100%, man. 100%. And this is one of those pops that was out there taking the funk. Okay.
Is that Jared Jones?
That's Jared. That's Jared.
Is that Jared? Amen.
That's Jared. He was one of them. Trying to act like, oh, I always love black people, man. He was look at him. He was like, get him, Biff. Get him. Don't let him up in this school.
He said, I was just saying what was going on. I was about to say,
hey, man, better not pass that gun line, boss. Don't pass that gun line. You know what I mean?
Yes,
do it.
I be saying
Don't do it. Don't do it. Nah, because here's the thing, dude. Hey, y'all want to know the craziest thing in the world to me? I find it out. This how they use imagery crazy to you, right? You see how that's a black and white photo, and every time you see the civil rights movement, it's always in black and white. It's always black and white because they want you to think about it that it was years ago.
So
like it was years ago. Martin Luther King's daughter is on Twitter.
Yep.
She saw it first time. Ruby Bridges is still alive, and she's on Instagram. They're still alive. They remember it like it was yesterday because it was yesterday. Don't let them trick you. Don't let them trick you, man. And you know what, man? Jose, thank you for pointing out. And Hendo, thank you for pointing out. Anytime I see a minority, like growing up, right, I would always say people of color. Oh, yeah, we're all people of color. We're all people of color. We're all one, right? And then I did something. It's called growing up. And then I realized something, right? There's people of color, which is me. I'm a person of color. And there's black people. There's you too. Every time I see a person of color racist towards black people, I completely disregard their existence. So I'm like, dude, the only reason your life is a modicum of some type of success is everything black people literally died for and fought for in the 60s. The black people in the 60s in America weren't saying like, you know what, let's go get equal rights for us. Only.
Yeah. Hey, Ferris, I got some news for you.
Yeah.
We're not colored people.
Okay.
Because listen, there's only one people that turn yellow when they get scared, green when they get sick, red when they get mad, green when they turn envious. There's only one people that turn colors, and it ain't us.
All right, okay, I get it. All right, fine. You just gotta ruin my damn point. Fine, sure. Of course. But I was making a point of how they're trying to divide us, and
of course,
and
that was always the way. That's
exactly.
That's how the rich stay rich.
Absolutely.
Once they convince poor white people to turn around on black people and minorities, that's when things got shady. If you keep everybody divided, we can't come together.
Absolutely,
that's why, if you look over at these foreign countries, they're banding together. And when their government doesn't do what they need to do, they will riot. They will fill the streets and make them do what they need to do. Over here, when we stay separated, we continue to let our government do exactly what they've been doing for so many years.
Right. We're divided over racial, not class. Because here's the thing too, man. I make fun of the French all the time because they easily made fun of because they do a lot of funny stuff. But they literally tried.
Oh, you froze.
They tried much for her.
All right, let me get the super chat from Kobe. Thank you, Kobe. Says, I'm from New York because my parents had to escape Jim Crow. There you go. Hey, look, it's shout out to everybody here, man. Like we've been talking politics and social issues for the last 30 minutes.
It's been like 45.
There's 178 people watching. Salute to y'all. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Also, Lunch Break Hot Take, Woke Pod, Good Friends, Better Rivals. Okay, that's the 3 channels you need to follow. Good Friends, Better Rivals is picking up some steam. Man, y'all love going to them for the golfing stuff. Yes. They cover all the sports, so they're a great follow. So make sure you subscribe over there. I'm gonna bring him down. Why? Yeah. He'll come back. He'll come back in a minute. But also LBHTShow.com. Go there if you haven't signed up for the newsletter. Sign up. The newsletter comes out this afternoon. It comes out every Monday at noon. So you want this week's copy of the newsletter, sign up before 12 o'clock. That's at LBHTShow.com. What we've been doing is posting questions on there. You vote on a poll, and we post the results on the Wednesday show. This week, I believe we're going to have you guys vote on the teams, the all-time NFL draft that we did. If you don't know what we're talking about, we did an all-time NFL draft. Myself, Hendo, Ferris, B did an all-time NFL draft. And we showed you the offense last week. We're going to do defense this week. All right. But we want to know how you guys feel about the team so far. They're blind reveals, so you don't know whose team is who. It's just going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be the poll. Which team do you like so far? 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you don't know what the teams consist of, go back to the Wednesday show and take a look at that, and you'll see what the teams look like so far.
Right.
All right. Ferris, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, Ferris. Okay, he's ready.
They tried to take me out. Dog. They took me out. I was trying to give the French credit. So what I was talking about was like they were trying to cut like vacation and create more work hours in France for per week. The French rioted in Paris, and the government was like, you know what? We're good. We're not gonna do that.
Right.
We're not gonna do that. In America, that will never happen. You know what I mean? America, like literally, it could if we wanted it to, but like, guess who got refunds on the tariffs? Companies did. We didn't.
Corporations.
We didn't. The people who paid the tariffs. That was our money, and we got screwed over. Jeff Bezos said, "Oh, me being taxed an extra $500 million won't help a teacher in Brooklyn." And Zoran Mamdani said, "Yeah, Will, what the hell are you talking about?"
He said, let's find that out. We're going to tax you.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Kobe, thank you for the super chat. Says tired of good enough when other teams go all in. Man, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Getting back to the sports for a second, okay?
Yeah.
Sports show. Yeah, and this is going back to what we were saying earlier. I didn't hear it, but somebody was saying that Jason LaCanfora was saying that he thinks Lamar, ain't feeling it here anymore, and that's totally valid. If he does feel that way, we don't know. He's just speculating like the rest of us are speculating, and that's fine. That's all we can do. He doesn't actually know because Lamar ain't gonna tell anybody outside of his inner circle, and that inner circle ain't gonna talk to you. Okay, but if he says, "Man, this is some BS," I got destroyed last year because of this offensive line, and now we don't even know who's playing center.
Right.
We keep going back and forth about that. I mean, us and other outlets or whatever. Some people might say it's not a big deal. Some people say they're going to figure it out, but they haven't figured it out yet. That's still a big question mark. That's not enough, right? And saying, "Oh, one of these guys can end up being the guy," maybe. But why aren't you doing your best to try to get the best out there? Why aren't you out there saying, "Man, let's go and make a trade for a star wide receiver to play next to Zay Flowers"? Why are we saying, "Hey, we drafted 2 rookie wide receivers in the 3rd and 4th round. They're going to work out"? No, it ain't enough. Ain't enough. And thank you for another super chat. Kobe says, "Rich better be careful. French had other solutions." Oh yes.
Yeah. Hey, the French lined them up and chopped their heads off, man. Yeah. You know what's funny too? You know what's funny? They teach us that in our world history class. They teach us like, "Oh, look what the rich did in France that ruined the country, and look how the French people reacted." Who was right, guys? And everyone in my class was like, the people. They were right to chop their heads off, and they're like, and the teacher would be like, "Correct." I was like, "Okay, cool." But then if we do that in America, it's like, "Oh, hey, let's not do that here in America. That's not in America. America, no." But you literally just taught me that in world history like 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's funny because what's up, Imani? Says, "Well, I'm tuning in late. It's all good. We're hanging out a little bit later. We're gonna hang out for a little bit longer, then we're gonna get out of here. We've been going for an hour and a half already. Appreciate all the support. Make sure you're hitting subscribe on 3 channels: Lunch Break, Hot Take, Rogue Pod, and Good Friends, Better Rivals. All right.
We're at 451 subscribers, guys. 49 away
from 500, where you'll be able to monetize. Well, you'll get the first part of monetization. Got to get the hours up. I don't think you're gonna have a problem with that. So yes, they're close to monetization. So help them out. But I think it's funny, right? Because we talk about this is the part of the off season that's very tough to keep people engaged because there's absolutely no football going on right now, right? You got OTAs, but it's not a whole lot going on. If you're an NBA fan, I mean, it's exciting watching the playoffs. It's been pretty good playoffs, but you're getting to a point.
Let's go Knicks.
We'll talk about that in a second, but there's not a whole lot to talk about. So you have to come up with stories, and the media just loves going back to the Lamar bag because Lamar guarantees clicks. But there are other things you could be discussing, like what we're discussing now. We're discussing Jaxson Dart, and I'm curious to see how much this picks up with the national media. My guess will be not
zero.
Much. Not that
it will
much.
Be zero.
And you guys, we've been talking about this for an hour and a half, and you guys have been fully engaged in this. There are other things that you can discuss out there, but they choose not to. That's why I don't have a lot of respect for people in the mainstream media. They think way too highly of themselves. There's no originality. There's no just original thought or anything like that. They just, hey, we're gonna talk about Lamar again. We're gonna talk about him. Needing to go to OTAs. We're gonna talk about him. Does he want to be a Raven or not? It's just that's just low effort. Does it get clicks? Yeah, it gets clicks, but that doesn't take any thought at all. This right here, this is what they should be discussing everywhere, but they won't. They won't. They'll probably talk about Stephen A again. Stephen A's beefing with another person. He's beefing with Nick Wright. We talked about Stephen A on the Overtime Show last week. You can check that out on our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHTShow. We talked about that. He was beefing with Jaylen Brown last week. Or go Valkyries, okay. But now because Nick Wright made a comment. Huh?
First, they don't pay us. Take it down.
Okay. Right. My bad. Sorry.
Because Nick Wright
That's a good point.
made a small comment about, hey, maybe you should not threaten people like you're a mob boss. Maybe you should grow up. And now he's taking shots at Nick Wright, talking about LeBron sent them. It's just like he is beyond a clown. And if you like Stephen A for his entertainment, whatever. You like who you like. But you can't possibly respect this man.
Right.
You can't, he's way too cartoonish now. Way too cartoonish. And by the way, he also has a political show, which is just pure comedy. You want to talk about somebody who knows nothing about politics whatsoever? That man, and he has a political show. What does that say?
Anybody can do it,
man. People like him shouldn't be talking no politics, man. Like I don't know. Even some of the people who talk politics shouldn't be talking about politics. Like every time someone introduces somebody, like, oh, this is a political strategist. Strategist is a what? Being a dumbass? Like what are we doing here, man? Like ain't no strategy to any of it. Like shit, man, y'all be stupid, man. Like people act like, oh, what? I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm just. Like, because it's right in our face, Jose Hendo. It's so right in our face, and I'm just like, my brain breaks. I'm like the things I thought were deal breakers
are
no longer deal breakers. Especially like bro, like we said earlier, if you just joining in, like at worst, home dude is a pedophile enabler. At best, he's a. Stephen
A said it wasn't a big deal. He's just like, when he said something like that, he's like, we talking about him, some reporter. That's what you mad about? Like, yeah, bro, that's a big thing. Do you understand what's going on? There's so many times where he says some things, and I just want to be like, yo, do you even understand what's going on? Can you articulate to us like what is going on, or are you just you just a dumbass? Like, are you really that dumb, or you being dumb on purpose? I think he's being dumb on purpose because he understands.
Yes.
He understands his audience. He understands his base. He understands if he keeps doing those things, he'll get the clicks. He'll get the hate clicks. He'll get the love from the other side, and it makes him a whole lot of money. And Stephen A is somebody who he knows he's selling out. He knows he's tap dancing 100%. He's not fully comfortable with it, and when people call him out on it, he gets. I think the responses he has to people are somewhat genuine. I think he does not like being called out for that stuff, and I think it absolutely sets him off when Jason Whitlock does it, because he is Jason Whitlock, right? Like they're one and the same. And when Jason Whitlock says something about him, it's like looking in the mirror, and it disgusts him. Right, he is disgusted by the things that he's saying and doing, but not disgusted enough to stop. He's made all the money in the world, right? You can't possibly need any more money, but he keeps doing it. So he's
skinny Jason Whitlock, and Jason Whitlock's fat Stephen A. Smith.
Yep. Yep. Except did he freeze again? He froze again.
Did he?
We're gonna keep this up just like that.
They got me again.
Okay, there you go. Cody, thank you for the super chat. Stephen A. podcasting because he killed TV sports media. He sure did.
Yeah, it's all about arguing now.
Yeah. Marquis State, what's going on? Says he threatens to expose private stuff when people challenge him, which is some BS. Some BS. Yeah. And those are fake threats anyway. And Nick Wright responded to that too, right? Because he said something about like, yeah, I know stuff about you. And Nick Wright was like, oh, here we go with the I know stuff about you, even though I know nothing. Right. Like you don't know. Stephen A doesn't know anything about anybody anymore. Nobody talks to him. Right. You used to have sources back in Allen Iverson days. That was 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a long time ago. You used to have sources and people used to come to you and confide in you. And even when you had dirt on players, you wouldn't dream of actually exposing that because then you knew you would be finished. Right? The threats that you make now, is to try to, for your audience, to try to tell your audience, hey, I still have connections, I still have sources. But these athletes are like, bro, you don't know me, you don't know anybody around me. You're just talking. There's, you don't have anything. There's nothing for you to expose. What are you going to expose about Jaylen Brown that hasn't been exposed already? Right? Like if there was some deep dark secret, somebody like Pablo Torre would have found that out. You know what I'm saying? Not you. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have anything. But he just says that because that's just his way when he gets into these rap battles with players that are young enough to be his grandson. That's just his go-to move. Oh, I can call up your family. I know this person. This isn't that,
Yeah.
Right, you can call them. They're not gonna tell you anything.
And it's amazing how he's never exposed anybody or anything that he knows.
Like, what's there to talk about Jaylen Brown? He plays video games on stream. He created a program to help black-owned businesses, local businesses, and
he likes outer space.
He likes that. Yeah, he likes outer space.
Okay. Let me read the super chat. Thank you, Kobe. Says raccoons don't like it when you spot them eating. Ooh.
You know what? I have firsthand experience.
That's right. That's right.
Firsthand experience.
We have a disagreement here from Money Mike. Money Mike says Whitlock is a sellout house. House Negro. I won't put that on Stephen A. Money Mike, bro.
Yeah, I will.
That is Stephen A 100%. That is Stephen A 100%. He has sold us out. Like, think about anytime we talk about black issues, we talk about social issues. Think about the stance that he takes. Think about the position he takes. Think about when he does his political show, he does his podcast. Think about the guests he brings on, right? Sean Hannity. What's the dude's name for Homeland Security? Homan, what I forget his name. What's the dude's name? Like he like a staunch racist, right? Like he brings on like the extreme right wingers onto his
Did he have Tucker Carlson?
Yep, Tucker Carlson. Right? Like these are the people that he buddies up with, and he's on their shows, right? Whenever we talk about black issues, think about what he says. Think either it's black people got to do more. He just recently said that he wished all black people voted Republican. He's like, just one time I wish they all vote Republican. Why? Like, what do you think voting Republican is going to do for our group? You know what I mean? Like, no, he's a sellout, and anytime he gets called out on those things, he either disengages, says, "Oh, I need to do more study on that. I don't know, whatever," or he just starts attacking that person personally, right? But he'll never engage on it. That's exactly why T.O. told him that Max Kellerman was blacker than him. And to this day, he hates T.O. and he fired Max Kellerman, or he got Max Kellerman fired.
Yep.
No. Stephen A. and Whitlock are the exact same person.
Yep. Because like you said, when it came to black stances, Max Kellerman was on the side of black people, and Stephen A. was always tap dancing around the issue. And that's why T.O. said what he said. So yeah,
Skip Bayless.
Yo, when Trayvon Martin was murdered, right? And they were having a trial. and his friend, the young lady took, was on the stand as a witness because she was on the phone with them when he was killed.
Mm-hmm.
He said that she hurt the case because she doesn't speak well. Y'all don't remember that? I'm gonna go find that clip. He said that on First Take, by the way. This wasn't something that he said on Twitter. This is on First Take. They said, well, she didn't, like she didn't speak well enough. She's hurting the case. That's what he thinks of black people. She's there giving her account of thing, and he's saying, well, she didn't speak well enough.
All right. And that's weird coming from somebody that gets real defensive about his speaking and his reading. Because when people bring up that he spoke about, he said he had an issue because he didn't speak well, he stutter, and he said that's a sore spot for him. So for that to be your issue, to say that about somebody else, like, that dude. And now he may not be on the Jason Whitlock level, but they are still one and the same.
Yeah, Money Mike. He said a lot of things. He said and done a lot of things.
Same side, different sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he knows this. Again, this isn't something that he's not aware of, but he just doesn't like being called out on it. He just doesn't like being called out on it. Garnett, what's going on?
Oh, snap.
For you to be successful in black sports analyst, you have to be willing to sell out. You guys remember Michael Wilbon being disrespectful right after Sean Taylor's death? I remember that. At least he walked it back. And I don't think you have to be a sellout to be successful. There are different levels of success. Right.
Yeah, because I don't think Mike Wilbon's a sellout. He had a bad moment with that situation because this how I know, because he didn't, as a former journalist, he should have done more journalism, or he should have found out that Sean Taylor was trying to move to Virginia and take his kids and his wife out of that situation. That he was, because he lived in Miami and he was being caught up with the stuff in Miami. He's like, he found out his wife was pregnant. So I got to get you out of here. I got to get me out of here. That was actually supposed to be his last week in Miami. Then they were going to move to Virginia the following 2 weeks. But unfortunately.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. If y'all remember what happened with Sean Taylor, he died because he was a victim of a home invasion, right? So some kids came in and robbed the house. They thought it was going to be empty. He had his pregnant wife. Did he had another kid at the time? I think he had another kid, or just yeah. So he was.
I think he only has the one kid.
Okay.
Just Jackie.
But he was trying to protect them. They were in the bedroom, and he told her stay there. And I think he had like a knife or machete, whatever. And he was trying to fight them out the house, and they shot him. Mm-hmm. Right. A man trying to defend his home, trying to defend his family. There's nothing more honorable than that. Right. And yes, there were some people like Michael Wilbon that try to put it on him, like, oh well, he was getting caught with some things that he wasn't supposed to be caught up in. No, it was just a home invasion. That's all it was. And even those people that shot him weren't expecting him to be there. They thought he was going to be out of town because he was trying to move.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. But that's how people think of even other black people think of black people in this country. They think, oh well, they got killed. They must have been doing something wrong.
Affiliated with something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the people who broke into his house, I think the week prior, he's having a house party. His sister invited those people to the house, and they were there to party. It was like we were invited to it. It was kind of like a barbecue. It's the summertime. You're in Miami. You're having fun outside. They came into the crib, saw the crib was nice. Was like, okay. Boom. Then they robbed it afterwards. Yep. It was someone adjacent to him too. It wasn't like some randos just picked the house. It was somebody adjacent. And the documentary about him, A Football Life, you see his sister break down on camera saying like she basically admits like I killed my brother. Because she trusted them.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She didn't. It was just guilt. And I feel sorry for her.
Kobe, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. It says Stephen A. Smith embarrassed. He wants that conservative money. Yeah, that's what it is. He wants the conservative money. It's very lucrative. It's lucrative for anybody, even at our level. Like if we were willing to sell out, they could make it worth our while. Like they pay really well, but I ain't selling my soul for that.
And isn't too. Yeah, for as amount as that is, you can sell out and you still won't get rewarded. Look at Tim Scott, the Republican representative of South Carolina. He sold out big time, and Jasmine Crockett basically said, "How's that working out for you now, Tim? No attorney general appointment, no cabinet appointment, nothing to your name. You're just another, just another used and abused homie.
Who was that lady in Virginia? The black woman that she was a Trumper. She was a diehard Trumper, and Trump wouldn't support her campaign. The crazy one, the I am speaking. You know what I'm talking about? If anybody knows, Kobe, help me out if you remember. She was getting booed at. She was getting booed at one of her rallies. She's like, "I am speaking."
Is her last name like Wayne, like WAIN?
No, I got.
Okay.
I gotta look her up, but like she's like, what? Like the only Republican. Trump was like, yeah, I ain't.
Yeah, and with Tim Scott, Tim Scott had to go on air and just to remind people, like, hey guys, at the end of the day, guys, I am black, so let's calm down here. I was like,
they want to run back to the blackness
exactly. It's like, hey guys, just remember, even though I sold everybody out here, I am still a black man in America. So please stop calling me the COON. Please.
All right, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Look, we've been going for almost 2 hours. We're back to our normal schedule tomorrow. We're back to work. So
15, 20 minutes, maybe 30.
Yeah. But I'm glad we had this conversation, man. And I'm glad that you guys are mature enough and adult enough to have these type of conversations, because we've been this way from the time we started.
Winsome Sears.
Oh, is that her name? Winsome Sears? Okay.
Kobe says
okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. See, I'm glad y'all know that. You guys gotta look. I'm gonna pull up a clip. She's like, I am speaking.
Hey man, but before we head out, hey Kobe, man, you a Knicks fan, Kobe?
Oh gosh.
So I see the Mets hat. I want to know.
Okay.
We gotta get first to shine.
Real quick, Ferris. I mean, congratulations. You guys are going to the finals. I mean,
yeah.
I knew after that first game.
Man.
Yeah. But let me ask you, do you think you're going to win the finals?
Hey, baby, Knicks in 6. Knicks in 6, baby.
Just because
Knicks in 6.
Don't make it true.
I think, you're gonna have a lot of rest. You're gonna have time to prepare, because I think this
that's right,
OKC and Spurs series going 7.
You ain't gotta say it like that, Kobe. You can just be like, no. He said no. Shit.
Why would he be a Knicks fan?
I think it's going 7, but Ferris, I mean, you're a basketball savant, right? Like, clearly you see the difference between how the level of play in that series and what you're seeing on the East. Both of these teams get busy on the defensive side, man. It is crazy.
Hey, so do we. So we match up well against both teams. We're 2-1 against the Spurs.
Okay.
Hey, we're 2-1 against the Spurs. The loss, we should have been 3-0, but the loss was 134-132. So we can match scoring wise. All right. Okay. So we match up with them very well. And you know what? Oklahoma City barely beat us by 8, even though they shot 30 free throws in our 2 games. So we match up very well against them.
We can play regular season to playoff basketball now. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. We're better. We have the greatest point differential in NBA playoff history, 210.
Different.
The last 3 teams. The last 3 teams to have an over 170 point differential. The Boston Celtics of 2024, the 2017 Golden State Warriors. What happened to both teams? They won the NBA championship. Team's different. Team is better. Watch out, bro. Watch out.
Okay,
Watch out, man.
You know what? I
Watch out.
I respect the analysis from Ferris. So I'm not even going to argue. Like you made a compelling argument. I don't agree, but that's not just him being a fan there. That's him backing it up with some data there. All right, I respect that, Ferris.
Also, the year Boston won the title, people are like, oh, who did the Knicks beat? The Knicks beat at a higher caliber team than them. The Boston beat the 8th seed, the 4th seed, and the 5th seed to make it to the NBA championship. And then they beat the Dallas Mavericks, who are the 3rd seed in the West. So they didn't beat nobody. And Detroit Pistons fans talking about like, oh, we would have beaten them. Well, y'all couldn't even beat the Cavs, and we about to sweep them. No. So keep your mouth shut. Boston Celtics fans talking all this talk. You couldn't beat Philadelphia. We swept Philadelphia.
Ferris, I'm gonna let you have this. Like you've been waiting a long time, bro.
You're not letting me have it. You're not letting me have it. I'm giving you stats. Oh, okay. Don't be like Brodney. Don't be like Brodney when you give. Yeah. You're not letting me have it. I'm gonna take it.
Oh, okay.
Hey, man, I need this to work out because this has been a good year in my life, man. I need this
to work out.
I need this, man. I need this badly, man. Got married. My soccer team won the championship. I need this basketball team.
Okay.
I'm
gonna skip over that first part until we get off air, but
yes.
We're
gonna have another conversation here.
Facts.
Okay.
All right. With that, we're gonna end the show. We'll be back tomorrow with some more content. Until then, y'all enjoy your day off. If you're not off, you have to work. Only give them 10%. We'll see you tomorrow.